that hath taken off his hand from the poor, that hath not received usury nor increase, hath executed my judgments, hath walked in my statutes, he shall not die for the iniquity of his father. He shall surely live. Now, Jesus called usury theft. And here's where he does it. In Luke chapter 19, verse 23. Wherefore then gavest thou not thou my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required my own with usury? Again, it's carried in Matthew chapter 25, verse 27. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Jesus called usury theft, Brenda Barnes. Now, Brenda Barnes would have us all believe she's a pillar of the community. Now, Brenda Barnes has known Donna Jo Kirkland since they had been in grade school together, growing up to adults, knowing each other all these many years. So you would clearly think that childhood friends would help, assist, honor each other in times of need in a tough situation. But Brenda Barnes has demonstrated the exact opposite towards her childhood friend, Donna Jo Kirkland. You would think Brenda Barnes would have gone out of her way to show understanding, patience, love, a leniency, a forgiveness, a helping hand, a grace period, used Donna's insurance through the bank to make the payments. But Brenda Barnes rather chose to cause a series of events that has now led to swiftly toss these two women out of their lawful home in an aggressive, violent police raid action that has caused Susie to especially be traumatized, causing mental and physical injuries to Susie. Donna Jo Kirkland has not played a so-called sympathy card in all this corruption against her in a joint conspiracy. But I will now introduce to you to the serious nature of Donna's situation, which it is not sympathy she asked for. It is simply to get her due process justice, to get her day in court, which has been ruthlessly denied by 4 judges who can't see the truth if it bit them in the face. The immediate serious problem facing Donna with her sister Susie is to get Susie back to her safe, familiar surroundings at home, where she has better, optimum medical hygiene and comfort support in place for her care. Donna cares full-time for her older sister Susie, who is an epileptic seizure patient most all her life since the age of 9. Susie is now 65 years old, but after suffering a massive series of 20-plus seizures one day at 9 years of age, she became frozen in that time. She still has the mind of a child. Donna will be 60 years old herself. Brenda Barnes is clearly aware of and knows Susie's condition, and that Donna Jo Kirkland is Susie's full-time caregiver. Yet, without hesitation, Brenda Barnes chose to bring a forced foreclosure by force, being the cause to a full-scale detrimental police raid on Donna Jo and Susie under the cover of dark, late at night of all things. 7 to 10 police cars with headlights flashing through Susie's bedroom window that caused this epileptic woman into a seizure right then and there. Susie, disoriented, fell out of bed, cutting her back, going into a seizure because of this police raid. I'd like to show you some photographs that will be entered into evidence in the court if we need to go to court. This is a picture of Susie's back that is sliced at the base of her spine, as you can see here, when she fell out of bed because of what police traumatized her. She didn't understand what was going on, fell out of bed, cut her back. There's a photograph of Susie's. There's Susie's back. Here's an injury to her arm, and maybe you can see also to her face and her arm right there and showing her face. I think that's clear there. Okay. And this is clear of the injury to her face. Thank you, police officers. What a fine job you do for Brenda Barnes. Now, the charge against Donna for trying to help her sister Susie in the matter, false arrest. Where the record in place shows police did not call for medical help for Susie. There was no EMT, emergency medical technician, or any other medical people in place for Susie, although it was a well-known condition. Brenda Barnes knew that Donna Jo was a caregiver for Susie in this condition. Police did not call for medical help for Susie, leaving her to her own accord, taking Donna off to jail in handcuffs and shackles. This is the kind of person Brenda Barnes has clearly demonstrated on the record that she is. This is the kind of police state that you now have in the town of Grant, Alabama. So let's see what kind of corrupt powers Brenda Barnes is wielding over citizens of Grant. She has a direct hand in the Chamber of Commerce, a direct hand in the bank, a direct hand in the economy and planning of the town of Grant, a direct hand in the church, pretending all the while to be an upstanding pillar of the community and pretending to be a godly woman. So is Brenda Barnes your friend? No. Is Brenda Barnes your good neighbor? No. Is Brenda Barnes an upstanding pillar of the community? No. Is Brenda Barnes a godly Christian woman? No. That's why I read her entire bio out of the Community magazine. She paints a pretty picture. She's none of these, none of the above, and it's all on record. Brenda Barnes, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that someone like you exists in this world. You have become extremely instrumental in tossing two women you personally know into the cold winter night off their own property, out of their own house, forced to flee, as you have played a very large part in violent, detrimental police force against two frail and petite women who have committed no crime, two senior citizens and a medically handicapped epileptic seizure patient out of her own lawful home. Both Donna and Susie are also cancer survivors. Now, I understand you're involved in cancer runs and program charities and whatnot. Well, this is a picture of Susie where she had cancer on her face that she had to have surgery for, that caused Donna to be a little bit late on her payment. And this is the photograph of Susie with stitches and her injury, recovering in bed after the surgery. She had cancer on her face that Donna Jo had to pay for, which caused the payment to be just a month and a half late. Big deal. Here's another picture. A little bit more of a close-up of the cancer that was removed off of Susie's face. Here's another picture of Susie and the cancer on her face. These pictures will be entered into court against you, Brenda Barnes, if we need to go to court. Donna Jo, also being a cancer survivor, which I'm sure you're aware of. Here's the photograph of her left arm where muscle tissue and such was removed from cancer that she has had to endure and survive so far. And also, I want to make note of the fact that when you see this photograph, she was manhandled by police officers who handcuffed her, shackled her to a wall, naked. Here is her arm where the cancer tissue was removed, which is very, very painful to deal with, and she's being manhandled by police, handcuffed and shackled, which caused pain to her arm. Now, all this without the slightest hint of legal protection or representation, which the judges should certainly have known better, you would think. But that's not how the judges roll in Marshall County. Old Tim Jolly, Riley, and Judge Hawk, all educated past their ability to perceive their evil, and headed for the lake of fire. Brenda Barnes, will you join them there at the lake of fire? Brenda Barnes, thanks to you, you have endangered the safety, health, and well-being of a handicapped, epileptic 65-year-old woman who is fleeing for her life from you because you caused this. I have heard it discussed that Donna's mother may have died along the course of these events to possible related complication of the infection set into her leg that did not dissipate from injuries she received from Christopher Allen Duvall's dogs being set loose on his hillside, ran down Donna's mother, attacking Donna's mother at Donna's property and next to a planted garden flower bed, while Christopher Duvall was seen laughing during this occurrence. The dogs caused injury to Donna's mother's leg, which she was infected and had pain and may be related to something even far worse. Here's a picture of Donna's mother's leg. Now, I can tell you, Brenda Barnes, if Susie, after medical examination, is found further to suffer injuries or death caused and attributed due to your direct actions, perhaps you will be seeing prison bars in the near future. I mean, how dare you continue to want to even argue any further as to what I've said already? To argue to justify your actions which are involved in causing Susie